Well, hello everybody. It's kind of interesting. I say that nearly every time. I say "G'day everybody." I say "Kui Kaba" or "Ni Hao." Aragat. No, that's not the right one. Anyway, um, good to see everybody. We're still sitting here in China, and I got a cold, so I've been yuck. Anyway, that's part of the travel deal. Sometimes I get it, sometimes I don't. But anyway, and the cheapest there's stuff going on now in the race, which is. It's a game changer. I think the scope of this split in the fleet will have ramifications going right through to the finish. It's that extreme. I mean, it's never over until it's finished, but there's some game changing things happening right now, which is very interesting. It's in some ways I'm surprised it hasn't happened before, and it all comes down to we're racing one design boats, which is one of my pet likes. One of the things that I really like because you look at the amount of money that gets spent to try and win a yacht race, like first home and all this, that, and the other. If it's an open design fleet, it just turns into an arms race, goes crazy. But if you have sort of a one design fleet, then the boats are pretty similar and it's pretty much a lot of fun and you're sort of hanging out close together and all that sort of stuff, except for the fact when you're doing, sort of 3,000-mile legs, if you miss a wind system, you've got to split and it's very hard to catch up for two reasons. One is boat for boat. It's hard to get any boat going more than 10% faster, okay, from another boat if you're sailing it well. And if you get behind on a weather system, then it's very hard to push through the next system and carry on. We've been seeing trade winds all the way through. And so that's like a drag race. But now with that big wind shadow off the back of Australia, which sits there all the time, there's winners and losers, and it's getting much more dramatic, and it's not over yet. I think we've got another day of it yet. So anyway, those that are turning up now won't get any of that. We've got a few things to talk about, kind of fun. Very happy to say anyway, I'll talk about that. There's a couple of good things happening. We get another MGR 29 entrant put in his application today, so the numbers are building really fast, which is quite cool. So it's still a long way away, 2029. But the people that are entering now, they're living the dream and they're right there. So good on them for supporting what's going on. It's kind of cool. Get rid of that. Okay, so I think we'll hit straight in there. I know a lot of people like waiting till it's live, but we can't sit here forever. And here we go. So you're on the tracker. I'll probably have to roll this over because that's what's happening. But you can see here, this was these still probably wouldn't have rolled over. Yeah, it's still 4 hours behind. So I'll do it in a minute. But you can see what's happening. The tail enders are still struggling. They're all over the place. Jacob and Adam are sort of stretching a little bit. They're really trying to hang on. But the leaders are just streaming away. Kerry's getting left behind a little bit. But it's fun to see and very interesting to watch. Anyway, I'll boost that up now. Get it to the current one. Some people say, why do I do this? Why don't I wait? Maybe I will next time. Anyway, that's fine. It's just I like having a tracker screen when I come up. And I could wait for a few minutes, I suppose. Anyway, here we are. We're right there. Oh, the lead group is looking neck and neck. No, still a little bit delay. Poor old Gary. Gary sent me a message last night. We'll start back here and said, geez, I hate these electric outboards. He was working the tides and the currents, and all he wanted to do was go 4 miles and he would have been in. But I think he ran out of battery and that was it. It was all over, so he had to stay out for another night or something. But it looks like he's in now. I'll just come in and see how he's going. Boy, if they had been racing down there, it would have been as we expected, a total nightmare. Yeah, he's in now. But he wasn't happy at all. Wasn't a happy chappy. Still, good job, Gary. It's really a challenge getting down there, so good to see you in. And I'm sure you'll enjoy that and reflect back on the fact that you sailed nearly over halfway around the world. That's pretty cool. Okay, so we've got the snail trails there. Look at this. Jeepers, Josh, wobble, wobble, wobble. It's all looking very punishing. Very punishing indeed. Anyway, he's still only doing 0.7. ERTAN's doing 2.6. Before I go into it, ERTAN, I just got to get my phone. I just realised ERTAN's coming up any minute now. He's waiting, so I'm going to call him on. We'll come back to the tracker shortly. We've got that happening there, so I'm just going to ring him right now. And where are we here? Okay, we got him. I'll just ring him and see if we can get him. Hopefully we can, and then we'll see how life is on Trekker down the back there.
Hello.
Hello. Oh,
Hi.
we don't have a video on you yet. Video paused.
Yes. Not from me.
Let
me just dial you back 1 second.
Yep. Okay. So we had a stalled pause there. Anyway, I didn't have him on video, but he should be coming right now. Yeah, so you can see where he was. He's right down the end. Okay, give it a bell. There he is. Okay, so here we go. Let's hang on a sec. Hang on, I got the wrong. I've still got you on the tracker. I better get you here. Okay, there we go. So how's ERTAN and TREKKA going?
Well, wonderful. I mean, it has been a wonderful afternoon because we have wind at the moment. Not according to the windy, but here we got enough wind to go at 4 or 5 knots.
Oh, that's all right.
Few hours, so so it's been all right most of the afternoon, and we are going. I don't know. We are doing good speeds, almost 5 knots at the moment, according to handheld GPS. So.
Wow, that's a change. Give us a look at the boat. People are saying, show us the mast and the rigging and the sails and all that sort of stuff.
With pleasure.
Eh?
Now this is the
yeah,
our hydro vane doing all the work.
Yeah,
and my rudder is not solidly fixed, but it moves a little bit. But the hydro vane doing all the work when there is wind. But recently, when we didn't have much wind, the tiller pilot is there. That's been working a lot recently because just to keep the boat going. Yeah, is that still your first one, or have you burnt one out yet? I burnt one up before Thursday Island because of I had to use it most of the night so I could sleep going through the reefs, and it was very rough. I think it didn't like it, so one of them got burned. So that was my fault, really, more than anything else. And I've been using that since Marquises, so it had a good use. So there's no complaints about that. Yeah. Okay. And there is the Starling there next to the hatch. And at the moment, let me just go down here this side. We've got the A5 here doing the work. That's been up pretty much all the time. I mean, I did have the A3 some days ago, but the wind is coming too much on the nose to keep the A3. So A5 is doing a better job. And I can't remember, but I have had the full mainsail for such a long time now. I can't remember when it was last time went in. And all is well, really. There's the extra solar panel which I put out. Because of the wonderful conditions, I'm using a lot more Starlink at the moment. And that's okay. So life is good because it's been a real struggle for you guys at the back with the breeze. There's a big hole to go through. It's still going to take days yet. Yes, I think this Sunday weekend, I think it will come, but it's okay. I mean, it's not a problem. It's okay. And how's life down below? Living on board. You've been on board for a while again now. Is it still pleasant? It's very pleasant at the moment. I mean, I can make a pasta because the sea is flat, and I made chips and I made a curry sauce with it, and so I've been doing a lot more, perhaps more dangerous type of cooking because the sea is being so benign recently. But the weather is really, it's like this every day. It's sunny and it's not too hot. It is never cold. Sea is really warm. So, once or twice I have a shower, and a few times I jumped into the sea when we were becalmed. Yeah. For a quick swim. And I really had, due to my location, I really saw literally no fishing boats except last night. I went through a group of them last night. That was the first time, I think, since I left. Yeah. That's cool. So have you had the fishing line out? You're the only one that I think you caught a fish a while ago, but I forget where you're at. Well, I've had one big one which I caught a few days ago, and I consumed that, and I've got my fishing line out again. So now a few days pass. I would like to catch another one if possible.
Yeah. Okay. And how's Trekka? Everything's working okay?
Yeah, she's tip top really. I touch wood. Let me find the wood to go.
Yeah, you're sitting on wood.
She's tip top, and I don't force her in any shape or form. As soon as the wind picks up, I only do the wide sails. The spinnakers and the lightweight sails are only really used winds of 15 knots or below. So my sails are really good condition because really they are being abused at all.
Yeah.
So all is well, really. I don't really have any problem. I mean, my electricity has been, thank God, it's been really good, no problems. And because of this constant sunshine, my batteries get topped up every day to full. So that's really wonderful.
Yeah, that's okay. So what's your average day with the Starlink look like? Because you're a heavy user.
Very user, and I think I use the Starlink more than anybody else. And ours tells me the cost of it, monthly cost, I dare not say. So I'm sure I've got the highest Starlink cost in the fleet for sure.
Yeah, but it's unlimited, isn't it? Don't you get unlimited if you pay your $300 a month or something?
No, it is not.
Oh, you go over the limit.
Yeah, I go over the limit pretty quickly. So constantly I get emails every week. You've exceeded thing, and we're going to charge you some more. So what they give you for a month, it barely lasts a week really for me. It doesn't even last that.
Really? Wow, I thought it was okay.
No.
Unless you're watching movies every day.
I do.
You watch movies every day?
Of course. If I download, let's say, 20 hours on each every day, I watch third of them. The other ones I don't like, I delete. So I download some more the following day. So I've always got quite a lot I can choose from. So I download on YouTube, Amazon Prime, and Netflix, and Amazon Prime has got some others as well, which I download. So there's really a huge choice of stuff that you can download, and it's pretty good. No complaints about that.
That's crazy. I didn't realize it was so intense. No wonder you ran out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you do have, once this wind is here and you set the hydro vane, you really don't really need to do a big deal. Boat takes care of everything.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, I haven't touched the hydro vane or anything for the past few hours right now. She's just doing her own thing. I mean, I use a compass only, so I try to head for the 270. So recently I have been doing that, but at the moment we are going 260, 270, which is perfect destination for me for the Cocos.
Yeah, okay. So there's a bit of a contrast then to the Golden Globe race when you had nothing.
Yes, I mean, the problem with the Golden Globe race is obviously you keep wondering about everything else that you are missing out. And that's sadly a weakness in me. I mean, I know everybody else is okay, and if that was a problem, you would tell me anyway. But you do feel connected with everyone as if you're on land. So that makes a huge difference. And this is a 1 week holiday. This is a year-long holiday with unusual destinations.
Yeah.
Very unusual destination. I mean, Thursday Islands, a very unusual destination.
Yeah. Too true. Yeah. So you're looking forward to Cocos then?
Well, I mean, I wish we spent a few weeks in Darwin and saw Australia. I hope that next time you do MGR, you put Darwin on the itinerary as a compulsory. So after Fiji, people can spend a few weeks in Australia, actually see Australia. There's not really an awful lot to see in Thursday Island, and I don't think anybody really enjoyed it very much.
Yeah.
Because they are not really boat-friendly islands, and not many boats visit there. But it was a wonderful experience going through the Barrier Reef, of course.
Yeah.
And that was extraordinary. But I think next time Darwin should be on the top of the list as a long stopover.
Well, everyone's moving pretty quick, that's for sure. But anyway, you never know till you're out there. But let's wait and see. I've got an average time to get to Cocos, and then so it goes. But now there's a big split in the fleet that's going to make it quite interesting.
Yes, I mean the front runners are in a different league altogether. I mean they are Premier League, and we are more on the sort of second league, So they are consistently since we left doing higher than average mileages every day, and they are just better all around. And I think that will continue to be so till the end of the race. So you'll have this problem all the time.
Yeah, exactly. Anyway, part of the course. So
there's nothing you can do about that because we all swim different lengths, different speed. We all walk different. We all sail different. I think it is just what it is, I mean, even the Golden Globe race, by the time I arrived at the Cape Town, there was people behind me more than 1,000 miles away, and there were people that were 1,000 miles in front of me. So it is how it is.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, too true. So what are you missing at the moment? It sounds like you've got everything you want with Starling.
Well, I'm not really missing anything, Sally. So I mean, obviously, I miss Arzu, but I talk to her 3-4 times a day.
Yeah.
And obviously, I do miss being with her. And she was in Alicante the other day. We're out sailing in our boat. And I wished I was there too. But,
So what about your health? Do you feel good? You're not banged and bruised and stuff?
No. I've touched wood. I don't even have a scratch on me. And I am at sea normally try to be as careful as possible because injury is not really something that is good for us. Injury can impede whatever you are doing, so it's best to do slowly and not take any risks. That's for me anyway.
Yeah. How's your water supply going?
Well, I when I arrive in a location, I often still have about 100 liters left. So at the moment, I checked on that. I've got 50 outside, 50 inside, plus another 25 liters in bottles somewhere else hidden away. So
bloody hell.
I've got a lot of water. Yeah.
So how much did you leave with? How many liters did you leave with?
Well, I try to leave around about 140 liters liquids at least.
Yeah.
So 120 or so in water, plus 20 liters of UHT, maybe more with the fruit juices and so on. So I do have plenty. So I don't really want to worry about water.
Yeah, I just did a post on Transat just saying 2 up. The boat, part of the deal when we came up with the concept, we had to carry 180 litres of water, plus 2 people, plus all the safety gear and equipment, plus food for 2 to go, 40 days across the Atlantic. And the boat will carry it, so quite interesting, eh?
Oh, I mean, some of the entrants, they have spare this, spare that, spare of everything. Some people have spare sets. Some people are really, really loaded their boats with tons of stuff. So
yeah.
I don't think anybody should worry about the weight. I mean, I certainly carry a huge amount of stuff, I mean,
yeah.
I'm even carrying Jasmine's spare anchor because she couldn't fit it anywhere. So
okay, that's fair enough. All right, well, that's cool.
So
yep.
Space or weight is not an issue, really.
Yeah, quite a big little boat, eh? Yeah. Okay. All right. Anything else you want to get across?
No, all is good, really. I look forward to Cocos. I think, obviously, I've never been there. I think it's going to be a dinghy job there. I think I just looked at it on the map. We are not near the shops there.
No, they don't let boats across the other side. All the boats have to stay there, and then there's a regular ferry and stuff, so that's cool.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah, so there's a regular ferry.
Over to the island quickly.
And you'll have cruising boats there as well, but you can swim ashore from there. There's no crocodiles, Okay. All right. Well, good to see. Thanks for looking.
I look forward to it.
Yeah, thanks for looking after my boat, eh?
Well, I'm doing my best. As you see, she looks tip top and with her brand new vinyl, and she is really in a good condition. So I haven't done any damage to her at all.
Yeah, no, all good. Okay, well, good to chat. We'll
and how is Jane?
Yeah, Jane's good. Yeah, she's doing her visa stuff now for Cape Town. That's why we're here.
Is she hiding right now?
Sorry?
Is she hiding?
Yes. She's hiding. Anyway, I leave on Monday, but she stays here. She got no passport. She had to deliver it in for the visa. Anyway,
well, good for her. I'm pleased for her.
Well, this will be the third. This will be the third time trying to attempt to get into Cape Town. So hopefully she'll get it this time. Okay.
Wow.
Thanks, Ertan. That's great. Keep doing what you're doing. Have fun, and we'll chat again, eh?
You.
Yep. Okay. See you later.
Right.
Yep. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Okay. So there's Ertan. Anyway, Yeah, enjoying the ride, that's for sure. Jeepers, I didn't realise the deal about the Starlink. I thought it was enough to go, but when he's downloading 20 films in a day and starts scrolling through them and delete stuff he's downloaded, jeepers, that's pretty heavy. Anyway, it's a game changer for sure, and some will deal with that differently than others. Hey, before I get into it, every time I come to China, there's always something happening, and I'll tell you what's going now. These are ladyfinger bananas, right? They're really tiny, and this is a big deal in China because they like the little ones, right? So they're tiny, but look at this. This is serious. This is the big discovery today. You know what that is? That's a bunch of grapes, right? Now you've got the lens there, but I got to show you. So this is the size of them. I've never seen grapes like it. Like that's bloody huge. You know, I can hardly put it in your mouth. They're obviously genetically modified, and you buy them in like a tub, like a special tray. Every bunch is exactly the same. I haven't counted the grapes, but they're probably exactly the same amount of grapes. When you eat the grapes, it's like this perfectly structured spine where the grapes are connected to. Every bunch is the same. It's just amazing. So they have monster grapes. See that? That's just gigantic. Anyway, so much for China. It's a great place. I like China. So that's cool. All right, back to the tracker. Sorry, we digress. Okay, so there you're on the tracker. I'm on the tracker. It's updated. There's where ERTAN was. He's doing in the last 4 hours it showed he was doing 2.6. And he did 67 nautical mile a day. That is howling breeze up here. We're on the 20th floor in our apartment, and there's a bit of wind coming through. Just like I was sitting in Antarctica. I like that sound. Anyway, Josh back here is doing 0.07 of a knot with 48 mile day. And we'll explain that when we put the weather on. It'll start to make sense. So here we go. It's a southerly. That's interesting in itself. So let's just open it up a bit. Yeah, there's a bit of breeze. They're high enough. There's a bit of breeze there. The zero, sort of scenario is below them, so that might be encouraging for a few. Eric doing 1.9 knots, 39 nautical mile day, not a big heap. Jasmine doing 2.3 knots. Again, they're all going pretty slowly, but at least they're going. And if ERTAN said he's got breeze, that may follow through. So we'll have to wait and see. Christian doing 1.9 knots and 62 mile day, really struggling. Adam just put a post up saying it was getting really hot because he said for him that when he filmed that video, the breeze was coming from the north off the land. So I don't know what the deal is there. This is definitely swapped over. Jacob's tacking, that's kind of interesting in its own right because it's definitely not a southerly. If it was a southerly like this, he'd be reaching across on port tack. So there must be a few anomalies there. But anyway, doing 2 knots, 41 mile day. And Adam making 4.2 knots, 67 nautical mile day. And then, look at this, jeepers. This is a game changer. This is going to be very difficult for these guys to catch up down the back for Adam and Jacob. Anyway, that's life. So Peeler, 5.4, did 131 in the day. Kerry, 6.1, 133. Dan, 149. They're in the current, obviously. 6.1. Looks like Kerry's dipped out here. And Renault, 5.6, but 143. So that's all very interesting indeed. Renault's pretty cool. Let's see what the wind is. No, I'll go to the currents because I'm interested to see what's happening here. Let's go for it. No, it looks all pretty straightforward, eh? It looks like the leaders up here have all got pretty similar. It's obviously helping, but who knows? Dan's done really well, or Kerry's done not so well with the wind. Peeler's got a fair enough current as well. The other guys are really struggling back here. There's no, Adam's onto something, but it's not showing up as a really big deal. Jasmine's going to be struggling if this is correct because it's swooping around, so she's going to have it coming either on the side or whatever. So not a lot happening with currents at that level. Let's just push it along for a day and see what that looks like. There's a day. It's all pretty much staying the same, although it helps Eric and so on. Another day. Oh, it's pushing along for Adam. Maybe Jacob will be back in that stream by then, and the others will be starting to lose it after a couple of days. So that's cool. Cloud-wise, looks like they've got pretty much blue sky. Yeah, that's pretty much blue sky everywhere. So that's fun for them. The wind now. Let's see what's happening here with the wind over the next couple of days. Oh, I should have pulled that up. We get a bigger track there. Okay, so we're back to real-time weather. I didn't get my keyboard, but I'm going to just push it along a bit. I'm going to jump it along a bit in a few hours. It's swinging from south around to southwest for the lead group, southeast rather, for the lead group. That'll get them going a bit faster. Everyone at the back, that's the 30th, so that's in 24 hours. It's starting to come from behind, so it'll be spinnaker material if this is true, and that's 5 to 10 knots maybe. So maybe they're slowly getting the breeze. That'll keep them moving at about 4 knots, and then it fills in. So we could be seeing the end of it for now for them, the rest of the fleet. The lead fleet, that's at 2 days. In 2 days, they'll probably be about 200 miles in front, so they're up over here somewhere. That's right where they'll be, so they will have missed this soft spot. Pila might slow down a bit. She's a bit further behind, so that may cost her a little bit. So Pila is roughly 180 miles now behind Renault. Okay, at one point she's only 90 behind. Kerry, on a course basis, is about 70 miles behind, and Dan's doing pretty well. He's only about 40 miles behind. So there's still all these 4 here are still in the hunt. Coming back to Adam is near enough to 450 miles. That's just too far. 450 miles, even at a 100-mile day, that's 4.5 days, 5 days. This is potentially a game changer here. It's going to be very hard for the rest of the fleet to catch the lead fleet. So we're seeing something that may be creating a situation where it's still a bit hard to say, because you've got all the other issues of the previous legs and to add on. But if you get a 5-day break with these 4, the winner of the MGR is probably going to come out of these 4. That's a bold statement, I know, but that's the this is the biggest shift we've seen, the biggest split in the group, and we've still got a fair way to go. So what's it looking like for the rest of the trip to Cocos, and how far is it? Okay, Renault is near enough to 1,100 miles. 1,100 miles out, so that's going to be about 9 days to go. And the others, like if we go all the way back, geez, it sounds like there's a cyclone going on. If we go back to Josh is 1,900 miles behind, or from Cocos, and he is around about 800 miles behind Renault. So that's a bit of an overview of everything. But I think the back end is going to start moving in the next 24 hours, and whether they'll get up to 100-mile days, I think that'll happen the day after. So they've got another day and a half, I reckon, of slow stuff, whereas the lead pack is going to continue to stream out at 130-mile days. I can't work out why they did so well. It must have been the breeze. Like in terms of daily run, 133. If they got 12 miles, it's 120 miles. If they got 12 miles for current, it's 120 miles. That's not bad. That sounds about right. But 149 for Dan, that's huge. So that's the biggest daily run, I think. Yep, Dan got the day's run, that's for sure. 149, 131 there. So that's all very interesting. So from frustrations, some fast sailing and so on, everything's happening. So okay, so I think we're done there. I don't think there's anything that I need to go through with that one. What did I have these? Pictures up here at the start? Did I go through that? No, I don't think I did. I can't remember now. Tail enders wouldn't have got it. That was just to explain John and Micah together, Popeye together, and they just sent a picture that their Mike's getting anti-fouling on, getting ready to get on the move. Not sure where they're going. They're basically headed back to Australia, so that's pretty cool. Had a few questions about Alma over on the Transat page, and a couple others. So what's Alma? Basically, Alma are a company, company, fair enough to say, and they're supporting the class. And for each year, for the next 5 years, they give us a little fee, and that's we appreciate all the help that we can get. So they're actually partners for the class. So it's the Alma It's actually the Alma Class Globe 580. Alma Humans is their social media page. They do a lot of community benefit stuff, and they've got a very strong social conscience. And basically, the interesting bit is the reason they're supporting us is because they like what we're trying to achieve for human adventures for anyone, for everyone. Get out there and have a go, for inspiring people, which is really cool. It wasn't about getting a commercial return and all this, that, and the other. They just said, "Hey, Don, we really like what you're doing and we want to help. How can we best do it?" So they are giving us some money to help run the class because everything costs money. We've spent a lot of money developing the Class Globe 580 over the last 5-6 years. So we're happy to get that bit of support right through until 2030. And that's really the first cash sponsor we've ever had. So we're grateful for that. And, it's pretty cool. One of the things they do, that's Ricardo there, they have a clothing brand in Portugal. It's the Portugal division that's supporting us. And that's how it all comes together. So now this one, I can show you the sign. It's pretty obvious. Join our team, be part of the story. What's that about? Well, we originally, back in the good old days, we thought we never want to pay anyone to run the events because we want to try and keep the cost down. And we'd look for volunteers for everything if we could. And we always get support in ports and this, that, and the other. So again, if you think you might want to help us run the events like the Transat or the MGR or anything like that, helping with safety inspections, do whatever, we're always open to suggestion. And it's always a lot of fun, whenever we had volunteers involved helping. They have a ball. We look after them and so on. And so if you think you might want to get involved with something, then let us know. We haven't announced it yet. We won't announce it for some time, but we've just we haven't appointed, but we've looks like we've got our race director for the Globe 580 Transat next year. At that time we'll actually be running the Golden Globe race as well. So Jane and I will be running the Golden Globe race, but we'll be in Lagos and we'll be in Lanzarote, and then the race director will be there the same, and we'll have some volunteers to help us with bits and pieces, and then the race director will be over in Antigua at the end, and so on. So that's all cool. And even with the Golden Globe, we mentioned this. I sent a builder's update out for the Golden Globe race in Les Sables d'Olonne for the 2 weeks. There's sort of like a display there whenever it's happening. We're going to try and get some connection with the 580 and the Mini Globe race, and also the Ocean Globe race as well. So we're hoping to have a couple of 580s there, maybe some even on trailers and stuff like that, telling the story about the Mini Globe race. So anyone that wants to get involved with that, then get in touch and we can see what happens. So that's what all that's about. Anyway, we're nearly there. It took a while. We're half an hour already. I'll just see what questions we got here. G'day, Adrian. You got your plans. Perfect. So 291's on a roll. G'day, and David. Chips with curry sauce. British fusion cuisine at its finest. Absolutely. There's Azu. His favourite from the fish and chip shop. Chips with curry sauce. Okay. Watching movies makes the boat go faster. Yeah, don't talk about it. Agree, Darwin should be on a compulsory list to visit. Anyway, we'll see. Part of the deal with this edition of the MGR is look at the speed of the fleet and how it works out. And I can see already, I've got a feeling we're going to be trying to slow them down before we get to Cape Town. So maybe that could be the case, but it's still a bit of a nightmare. And when you get through, and in fact, what we'd probably do if we did it, we'd probably still have a stopover and clear customs in Thursday Island, and then maybe send the whole fleet there. But I doubt it, because we didn't have any strong interest at all from anyone who was interested in supporting the MGR in Darwin. That's another reason that we had nothing. It sent a few feelers out, and no one really knew. Who are you? So that could change. Maybe someone in Darwin might be interested to come along and help the fleet, but we'll see. But we always review everything at the end of the event and then possibly change things. So that's up for grabs. Thanks, Craig. Nigel, thanks, mate. I'm glad the audio works like that. It's an easy way for us to do it if it works. Smiley, not Darwin, Cairns. No, it doesn't work. Too far down. Most of the milk run circumnavigators stop here in Cairns. We have an international airport and great marine services. Actually, interesting. Yeah, you're not partly wrong, but the problem then is when you get into Cairns, you've got to work your way up through the reef, which is really hard work if you're solo. and if you're not stopping every now and then. So it's a bit far down in the reef. For that, if it was two-handed, it wouldn't be so bad, but we try and keep it as a minimum going through the reef, so that's not going to happen. But I agree, Cairns is a great place. Morning, Roseanne. Speaking of Antarctic winds, Ben Tucker did a talk recently of your sailing trip to Antarctica. I just saw it on YouTube yesterday because I thought, oh, that's his film. But then I thought, hang on, they got 10,000 views yesterday, and the film's been out for like 10 years because we know Ben really well. In fact, we helped him a little bit on that trip, as we do. In fact, I spent an hour today with another guy, a guy we know in Australia, who's also planning an Antarctic voyage, and everyone that's planning an Antarctic voyage wants to talk to us about about ideas and how to get through pack ice and all that sort of stuff, because we've had a lot of experience in Antarctica. I did 22 seasons in Antarctica, going down on yachts and ships and planes, and I spent 3.5 years, I worked it out, 3.5 years total time in the Southern Ocean, going back and forwards, over there, and watching weather and being an ice pilot and all that sort of stuff. So it's a great conversation. But Ben is just a great guy. He was a volunteer on our little ship. We had a little ship called Sir Hubert Wilkins, a 36-metre ship, which was one of my dreams to mimic Jacques Cousteau and Calypso and all that sort of stuff. Anyway, we had this ship. It was supported by Dick Smith Foods, and we had all volunteer crew. It was unbelievable. And Ben was a volunteer officer, deck officer. He was a navigator. Our captain, we only paid 2 people on the ship. The captain, he didn't want any pay, and I said, I'm not going to have you for a year or so on the ship without getting paid, so tell me what your mortgage is. And I ended up paying him about, $500 a week, Australian dollars, which was nothing. He earned usually $1,000 a day. And we had to pay full money for our chief engineer because you had to have certain qualifications and no one would volunteer. And we, just one more minute on this funny story, we had a ship safety management thing and minimum crew rating, minimum manning level for the ship. And minimum manning was 5 crew, okay? And we could only take a maximum of 12 passengers. But the ship was set up with 32 bunks. So when we went to Antarctica, we would have 12 paying passengers, right, going off on an incredible adventure. And so we'd be able to charge them a reasonable fee, and that helped cover the cost. And then we had 16 crew. We'd have like 16 crew, and then volunteers. We had artists and all sorts of people. We just had the best trips. Anyway, that's a whole different story. And anyway, Ben was one of those, and I think he was on board for the refit because we sailed it from Finland across the Baltic, Pacific, Atlantic, blah, blah, blah. I went to New Zealand and spent, nearly 2 months refitting the ship, putting a helipad on, all that stuff. All the crew were volunteers. They worked in shit for bloody weeks and weeks and weeks. It's a fantastic story. I'll have to write something and do something about it one day. But yeah, Ben's a great guy, and that was a really epic trip. He went down in a 36-foot steel boat. Him and his father and his brother and stuff, they had a ball. It was a great trip. And it's on YouTube. Also the film, I forget the name of his boat now. Anyway, great story. I digress. And the guy I was speaking to today is going down in a 70-footer, big steel boat. He wants to do Ross Sea and Cape Denison and so on. Okay, Josh, hello. Can I ask questions about race? My English not so good. Yeah, sure. Do you know boat called Ice Wallow Come? No, I don't know the boat. You can always talk to me on Facebook, Josh. Just look for Don McIntyre and friend me or something, or just send me a message. I'll see it, and I can answer any questions. I find Messenger is good because it's quick, short answers, blah, blah, blah. So, okay, that's about it. So good to see everyone, and we'll be there tomorrow. I'm going to be travelling all day Monday and possibly Tuesday, so we'll try to get one out tomorrow, which is Saturday and Sunday, but then we might be off the air for a bit, so we'll see how we go. Okay, see you later. Thank you all.